Good evening, sight friends, Middle Man coming at you again from Walks Music. Yet another word for the day. After a little after midnight, and we just like to say that we give God all the praise and honor, glory. We thank Him for as well as it is, and also we thank Him for each and every one of you, sight friends. You know who you are. I just want to come. Excuse me. I want to come to everyone tonight, and I've been thinking about this here for quite a while. But I want to reflect a moment, if y'all don't mind, and go back a few years. Not that many, but just a few years ago. Let's just go back as far as 2013. I remember, it may have been 2012, but I do remember that NASA, y'all know who NASA is. In other words, our space program. In other words, do all our exploration in outer space, and we, a lot of us, we destroyed for lack of knowledge. That's what Hosea, in the book of Hosea, it tells us in 4:16. It said that God said, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." That's sad, because especially when it's so easily, readily available at every turn. But at any rate, I can remember back, and y'all got to excuse my voice. Y'all know I'm dealing with a little fresh cold. I can remember back. Let's just go back to 2013 when it was very, very hot on the plate. NASA told everyone that these blood moon was going to occur, because a blood moon is nothing but a lunar eclipse. It's an eclipse of the moon. That's all it is. NASA told everyone that it was going to be 4 of them. They told the date and just about the exact time that they was going to occur. It was going to be 4 blood moons in 2014. And in the middle, on either side of the 2 blood moons, there was going to be a solar eclipse in the middle. They put the date and just about the right time on each one of them eclipses. They said we're going to be 4 tetrad, they call it, 4 blood moons in 2014. And in 2015, that was going to be 4 blood moons. And this is 2016, which was the year. Well, actually, the Jubilee started last year at the last blood moon. The Jubilee started then. And because the way the Jewish calendar runs from September to September, that's the way the Jewish calendar runs. It's the Jewish New Year, the civic year, in other words. And so we are getting ready now to end the Jubilee this September on Yom Kippur, which happened on September the 14th. Well, we had a lot of people to make mockery of NASA. We had certain people that, say things that, about, in which I know that this is a man-made organization. In other words, aeronautics, space administration, but those people are trained, just like a musician is trained, just like a doctor is trained, a lawyer is trained. They are trained in their area of expertise, and they know what they are talking about on most occasions, many times. In which anybody, it's human to be wrong. You just error. That's human. But at any rate, those people got very, very sophisticated equipment. They can predict, and they can see things far in the future. They can tell it by the stars. Well, God gave us that ability. If you had the knowledge, in other words, if you weren't lacking knowledge, you would know that from reading your Bible, that God gave man the ability to read the stars. God the one put it up there. But you got to understand and have some knowledge to seek it out. All right. One thing that was said, NASA had already told us about the blood moon. They were coming. Well, then we had some prophetic teachers and preachers and everybody. They got on the bandwagon and they start researching what this meant. And Mark Blitz, was the first one that I heard that really had the stamp on the blood moon, Mark Blitz. Then you had people like John Hager to come out with a book about the blood moon, and then you had other ones to, the domino effect. Everybody started talking about the blood moons and what was going to happen and what they thought was going to happen. But now, the very peculiar thing that happened though with those blood moons, and I'm going to hurry up with this video, though each one of them blood moons happened on Jewish high festival days. And that was ironic. And so what the prophetic teachers and researchers, they started doing, they went back, let me just go on and tell you which one of those feast days that the blood moon happened on. They happened on Passover, Pentecost, and if I'm not mistaken, the other one was Yom Kippur, what we call Feast of Tabernacles. That's one. And Feast of Tabernacles, Passover, Pentecost, Feast of Tabernacles. Those were the 3 feast days of each one of those blood moons. The succession of the blood moon they fell on. Like I said, it was 2 Passover and Feast of Tabernacles in 2014, and also happened in 2015. So that was the Passover, Pentecost, Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, and then you could say Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. I think those were the 4 feasts. If I'm not mistaken, I know it was 3 feasts. The Passover, the Pentecost, and Feast of Tabernacles. And I want to say Atonement, but I'm not sure about the Atonement. But I do know we had 4 blood moons, and they each fell on Jewish holidays, those festival days. And then that solar eclipse happened right in the middle of that. So it happened out in the summertime somewhere, around July, August somewhere. But at any rate, each one of those blood moons fell on high feast days of the Jewish calendar. And so the religious community, the prophetic teachers and whatnot, they saw a pattern, and they wanted to research this thing, and they looked back and found out, did anything happen on the previous blood moons that ever fell on in this type of pattern, what they call a tetrad? And they found out that some significant things happened with the nation of Israel on each one of those blood moons. It was something that very, very significant. Every time it had one of those tetrad in the past, I think it was like up until this last one, I think the last one they said was like 500 years ago. But then again, somebody said, no, it wasn't 500 years ago. It had to be about 60 years ago, back in 1948, when they had a tetrad because the Jews became a nation again. But at any rate, besides all of that, Hosea 4:6 say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And we had people to mock NASA about the 4 blood moons, and every one of those blood moons hit right on the same date that NASA said that they was going to happen. And you know what? I never doubted it, because that's what they do. They got this knowledge and the sophisticated equipment to time this thing. You could do it if you had the knowledge. You could do it. But when we get stupid, that's what I'm going to say, the spirit of stupid get on of us sometime. And you can't nobody tell you nothing. Admit it, man, if you don't know nothing, you need to hush and let somebody tell you something. And that's the problem with the spirit of stupidity. The spirit of stupidity get in us, and we won't let nobody tell us nothing. That's the sad part. But guess what? Everything that NASA said, each date to the date, each one of those blood moons fell on it. And I didn't doubt NASA one bit. God knows I did, because I know that's what they do. Now, I'm not saying they're God, but God gave them the knowledge. And they got the equipment to tell. And like I say, me and you could do it. If we would there take the time to do something worth something, it's right there in the Bible. You can do it. You can do the same thing. You can tell the next year about this time what will be according to the stars. You can do it. But you got to have the knowledge. Well, at any rate, people, they said a lot of things that the prophetic people said, that it was going to be, this was going to happen, that was going to happen, and everything. And I decided I would sit back and watch it. And guess what? A lot of things did happen in 2014 and 2015. A lot of stuff happened. We had earthquakes, devastation every which way. We sure did have it, just like the prophetic teacher said, that we were going to have some of this thing. But you know what? The one thing that I haven't heard nobody else say anything about it. Now, after I say it tonight and put it up on YouTube, perhaps you're going to hear some more people maybe say something now. But the one thing that I've seen happen more than any other natural disaster that everybody was looking for these blood moon to bring, oh, the sun was going to dip and whip like a roller coaster and all that kind of stuff like that. I noticed it and I looked for it. But you know what Many Man seen? I'm going to tell you what I saw. And when I say it, you'll know it too. I know that the spirit of murder increased over 200%. Have you noticed? Ever since all these blood men been going on, and you ain't had no killing going on. Right. Ain't nobody said nothing about that, because I ain't heard nobody else say nothing about it. Not even the news. They broadcast it on the news. But I haven't heard one prophetic teacher. Now, I didn't say not one have said it. But I know I haven't heard anybody mention nothing about, have you noticed how much killing been going on ever since 2014? I mean, everywhere you look was killing. The ISIS rose up. And as y'all know, the ISIS was getting ready to really start right around 2013. Did y'all notice that? Yeah. But nobody said anything about that. All the things we want to talk about is Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. But nobody is watching the signs. Nobody. Spirit of Cain. This is what I see. The spirit of Cain. Murder. And it's been going on ever since 2014, ever since this stuff been going, and it's been escalated. Exponentially it's been going up. In the cities of Chicago, not only Chicago already had a good high death rate anyway. And not only Chicago, but many other cities in the United States and all across the world. But I'm talking about as a general whole since 2013, the rate of murder been going up exponentially. And look like to me ain't nobody caring. Because I ain't heard nobody say nothing about it. Sure didn't. I mean, to my knowledge, and I know I look at the different programs, I look at the different TV evangelists, and I haven't heard one of them say yet about this spirit of murder that's going on, and it all was calculated, got something to do with these blood moon that came. We were looking for other things to happen, like the moon sinking low and the mountain jumping up and turning a flip and stuff. We were looking for all that foolish stuff, and I was looking for the real deal. In other words, the spirit of Cain. Why? Because it was the spirit of Cain that came on the scene, that killed his brother Abel, all because of worship, because his sacrifice pleased God and he is dead. And that's exactly what it's coming back to. It's all coming back to who we going to worship. Satan is not studying you. He's not studying me. He could care less about us, but he do not want us to worship God. And guess what? A lot of us doing it. We pleasing Satan. Satan ain't bothering you because he ain't got nothing to fear from you. Because you worship him, you don't give God none of your time. Amen. But you know what? It ain't too late now. I'm just saying, people look at the signs of the time. No one, we worship everything but God. What do I mean by worship? Where do you spend your money? Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend most of your time in the day? And your money, your hard-earned money. Do you have a hard time giving? When it comes to tithing or anything else, it ain't just got to be with tithing. It got do what do you what? In other words, who do you spend the most of your time with during the day? That's who you worship. Remember, I said it, and I stand behind it. I approve this here the video. This is Many Man saying peace and goodbye.